Hi, it's Zeke with the Eastside Church in Baytown, Texas. Thanks for joining us as we read through the Bible. We're reading through Mark this week, chapters 11 through 15, in our 5x5x5 Eastside Bible reading. It'll take you about 5 minutes a day if you read a chapter a day. And we ask that you spend 5 minutes in reflection, thinking about what it is you read, and then 5 minutes in prayer, asking God to help you apply the lessons that you've noticed in it. Well, let's read about what's going on in Mark's gospel. We see in Mark's fast-moving gospel that we now head into the last week of Jesus' earthly life, and chapter 11 covers a lot of 3 days. Late on Sunday, Jesus enters Jerusalem while an affectionate crowd praises him, hails him as the Messiah. The next day, Monday, he cursed a fig tree that looked fruitful but was, in fact, fruitless. Then he enters the temple, drives out those who were abusing it as a marketplace. The next day, Tuesday, Jesus is challenged by the religious leaders who demand to know where his authority comes from. He responds by asking them where John's baptism came from. They don't answer. They're either unable or unwilling. In chapter 12, he begins to speak more to them. He begins with a parable about irresponsible vine growers, and its meaning is easy to grasp. He's talking about them. Next, more groups of antagonists arrive to ask questions that are designed to either entrap Jesus or confuse him. Well, he answers their questions easily, but when he asks them questions, they don't know how to answer. As he noticed a touching scene where a poor widow put all her money, as meager as it was, into the temple treasury, Jesus remarks about it to his disciples. It's still Tuesday in chapter 13, and Jesus delivers his famous Olivet Discourse, which was prompted by probing questions from his disciples. After Jesus has said that that beautiful temple would be demolished, naturally they want to know when that was going to happen. Using apocalyptic language, Jesus mentions signs by which they would know what's taking place. In other words, this would happen in their lifetime. Many want to look at this chapter and have it refer to some future coming of Christ. But by cross-referencing with Matthew and Luke, it's not hard to see that Jesus is talking about the destruction of Jerusalem, which history tells us did occur in their lifetime, in 70 A.D., to be precise. Well, in chapter 14, still Tuesday, we see Jesus being anointed by a devoted follower, and he commends her for it. Suddenly, we skip over Wednesday, and we head right to Thursday. We see Jesus in control of the Passover preparations. The preparations come together. Jesus observes the Passover with his disciples while instituting another observance, one which they would remember far later, and one which we remember still today. Later that night, Jesus is betrayed, arrested, and in chapter 15, he's brought before Pilate before he's finally condemned and crucified on Friday. Finally, late Friday afternoon, Jesus is buried. And that's where chapter 15 leaves off. And of course, the suspense builds. If you've never read the Gospel of Mark, naturally you want to know what's going to happen next. Well, we'll read about it in our next 5x5x5 Eastside Bible reading. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope you'll continue to read the Word of God. God bless you.